NTEN, we actually use Hangouts all day, every day. We use that for our staff calls and our senior staff calls and like team meetings because we're a distributed office. So there are some people in Portland, Oregon, but I'm in New York, and we have staff in Maine, Seattle, and San Francisco. Hey there, welcome everybody that's joining the Hangout. Feel free to say hello if you have not gotten a chance to do that yet. And if you have other things going on, feel free to meet me live.
My name's Tom. I work here in Austin, Texas for Google, and I'm actually joined today by the Boys and Girls Club of Austin, who is checking out the powers of Google Plus.
Awesome. Welcome, Boys and Girls Club of Austin.
Thanks. I'm Julie Barshow. I'm the Marketing Services Director for Boys and Girls Club. And we have Kevin and Craig over here.
Kevin.
Hey, guys.
So I'm just trying to educate them on all the different features and functionalities of Google Plus product suite. So there's a lot to learn, and just trying to get the ball rolling, have them coordinate with their people internally for communication before they even really get the ball rolling externally.
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys have a distributed staff, or everyone actually in the central office in Austin? How do you guys have it set up?
Well, we have an administration office with roughly 15 people, and then we have a board, and they're all over Austin, and then several committees, marketing and operations and development. And so we are kind of spread out all over the city, but our staff are across 17 clubs in the Austin area and our administration office in North Central Austin.
Wow. And do you feel like a lot of those folks would like to do something like this? I mean, at NTEN, we attract all of the people that want to be or are early adopter techie folks because it's the membership of people using technology in their work. So whenever there's a chance to do something with technology, a lot of people want to do it. So we feel very lucky in that way that we don't have to convince people like, hey, we're going to use an email list.
I think some people would want to, and some people would be like, oh no, what do they want me to do now? I'm already checking 3 email addresses and Facebook and Twitter every day. What do they want me to do now? So I think we'll have some road humps, but I think once we get everybody engaged in how this can help the club and the kids, and even engaging the kids as well, I think it'll take some time to get rolling, but I think it'll be successful in the end.
Sure. And are there other Boys and Girls Clubs already using Hangouts and other things like that?
I think Tom said he found about 15 pages. So not very many, because there's 4,600 clubs in the United States. So a very small percentage at this time. And I'm anxious, after this meeting, I'm actually going to go see if our national organization has a page. Because Kevin set up our local page for us. But do you remember if you found Boys and Girls Club of America, Tom?
I'm not really sure. It seems like kind of like Habitat for Humanity or United Way, where a lot of people created plus pages and then never really engaged, and they're kind of just like squatting on the name for right now. Mm-hmm. I haven't really checked through all their posts. I don't think anyone's done a Hangout yet, at least externally, to my knowledge. So
cool.
That's exciting.
Well, this Hangout today is an extension of what we already do called office hours. So every week we had an online live chat so that people could ask questions about NTEN or NTEN membership, but could also say like, I'm looking for email benchmarks, where should I go? Or like, do you have any resources about databases, etc., so that we could point people to resources. And we had previously done those as a cover it live text chat. And so it was embedded on the site, and just, you would open up the page and like, if it was live, you would see people chatting. And if you didn't, then it would say the next one will be whenever. But it's interesting because on those chats, you'll see, because Cover It Live shows you like how many people are actively watching the chat, even though they haven't said anything. Whereas with Hangout, like no one could be in here that we don't know is in here, you know? So on those text chats, you could see like, oh gosh, only 2 people asked questions today, but we saw that 10 people were watching. So maybe they had the same question and they got help. Whereas on the Hangout, like we couldn't count how many people are participating because you have to participate at the same level. Like there isn't that observer versus contributor level.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's where with and to add on to that, that's why I always recommend when you have things like this to record the Hangout, because that way you can post it onto YouTube and it can be a valuable resource for you and others later on who weren't able to jump on the Hangout.
Yeah, and we had another form of office hours further back in the history that was like a phone call and a similar, like open discussion. And so we've tried a few different formats, but I think that the Hangout could be fun because people like the feeling of being able to see each other. So.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We're going to get back to our meeting. But,
yes, of course. No worries.
See you in another Hangout office hours sometime soon.
Exactly. Awesome. And if you guys have any questions or there are NTEN resources that would be helpful, or if you guys are or are not yet members of NTEN, we definitely want to make sure that you are connected to the community. So feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Just AMY@NTEN.
I will share your Plus page with them.
Cool.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks. Nice to meet you too.
Thanks, Thomas.
Bye.
Yes. Bye, Nick.
My primary role is to be a single point of contact for local businesses and nonprofits in the Portland area. Mm-hmm. So I get to work with all kinds of different businesses and service pretty much any local business product that we have with Google. So primarily focusing on Google Places and Google Plus, but really I'd like to help all organizations with really anything they need help on with Google. So I'm always jumping from one project to the next, which is great. So.
Yeah, it's good that Google's putting a human face on customer support. I think that's a great sort of commitment that they're making with Google Plus and otherwise. So this is a great story for going to conferences and connecting with people. So Sarah Durham posted a slide last Monday about email conversion rates, for fundraising campaigns, and I had not found any data on this, despite a reasonable amount of looking, which is 10 minutes of Google searching and asking twice on Twitter. Yeah. And so from that, we were able to compare like how a HelpAttack campaign does on social media versus a email campaign, traditionally through your email list, and it does really well. So that was exciting.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have that we could share on NTEN blog?
I just posted it to our blog. I'll shoot you the link, or I'll put it in the chat.
Ehren, so are you with NTEN, or what's your role?
So both companies that I've founded or co-founded are NTEN members. So NTEN is basically a great professional organization for us. I've gone to NTC, their conference, this will be my 3rd year in a row, I think, or maybe 4th. It's in San Francisco this year, and so yeah, we participate as much as we can. I'm not an active LinkedIn contributor and stuff like that. I wish I were, but we've met a ton of people through NTEN. It's a great networking opportunity for us, and they also put out great resources and stuff like that. So it's it's kind of how I got into nonprofit technology in a large sense. I came to it through Salesforce consulting for nonprofits. That's what I'm still doing sometimes. But
okay.
Yeah, they're a great org. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. Ehren, it was really good to meet you, and I hopefully I'll be able to meet you guys in person next month at South by Southwest.
Awesome.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Me too.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.